Now, many of you have heard my videos before about rape and how this issue really hits home with me. You know, this is an issue that disgusts me, it enrages me for many reasons. Not just because we all don't like rape, you know, but because of what is being done, or rather what is not being done about it. Now, first let me start off by defining the rape culture that women claim that there is. Okay? And then I'm going to explain to you why there is a rape culture, but it's not what you think it is. So you have Hollywood, video games, TV shows, what have you. You know, porn. And you see rape scenes. Okay? Now, granted, there are people who like rape and porn. For the same reason there are people who like rape. And it's not necessarily, and I would argue that it's almost certainly, in the vast majority of the cases, not for the reason you think it is. They don't like rape because they want control. This is a despicable falsehood propagated by feminists. I've always gone after it. I've always poked holes into it. You know, it seems like it falls on deaf ears. You know, all you people who listen to this, go out there and make sure that people understand what the real problem is. If you want to stop rape, let's get to the underlying cause, or let's not bother, you know? It's like if you're going to save someone's life, someone just got shot, you know? Are you just going to give them a Band-Aid and walk away and start crying about, oh, you know, we're giving them all Band-Aids and people are dying anyway and playing fucking stupid? Or are you going to try to put pressure on the wound and call the ambulance? Address the underlying cause or shut the fuck up. I'm telling you this, feminists, one last time. You either address the underlying cause or shut the fuck up. Or I'm going to go around telling people that they should go out and rape bitches. You know? That's how it's going to be. Because I'm so sick of you fucking not wanting to address the problem. Okay. So, then the problem is why women are literally asking for it. Women are asking for it. They're not going out and saying, rape me. Because you're going to get a lot of dumb bitches who take this out of context. If my videos ever go viral or something, you're going to get bitches saying, oh, you know, he says, you know, that we're asking for it, so we're going to have signs that say, please rape me, to protest that. Because they are fucking stupid. They're shallow, they're trifling, and it goes over their head. The points always go over these feminist heads. That's why they protest against God, when God is the one who protects women in the first place. That's why they go out and protest religion, when religion gives us morality in the first place. They're stupid, they're shallow, they don't get it. Feminists have all these things in common, and they have in common that they're not devout. Underlined 1,000 times, devout Christians, and they are people who do not listen to my videos. Okay, or watch them for that matter. So anyway, with that being said, what is the underlying problem? There's two underlying problems here. One is that we're not addressing the underlying problem because you say, don't blame the victim. And I would go back and say that statement is being used wrong. The rapist is also the victim. We're all victims of Babylon's system, and then there's resulting behavior. I'm not excusing their behavior. You know, I constantly bring up how people roll with it. They're put in this evil kind of government system, and then they roll with it, and that's where all the problems come from. You know, the people in charge are evil, and you roll with it, and thus we have an evil society. So anyway, going back to the underlying cause. The underlying cause is a lack of religious conviction. Okay? Period. Next, the cause is, what is the reason what people are doing this, you know? Even if you remove religious conviction from the scenario, and you say, okay, how can we address it besides that? You know? Well, the reason why men are raping women is because it's the same reason why somebody goes out and beats somebody up. You know, it's the same reason why people protest, really. It's that people feel that women have done them wrong, or they feel that society has done them wrong. And so they say, you know what, fuck this. You know, they're holding back that resentment. They have a sex drive, you know, they're horny, what have you, and then they feel like they've been done wrong, so they can't get it themselves. Most people wouldn't steal if they felt they could get it themselves in another logical way. Of course, you have the small percentage of people, very small, very minute, which would steal anyway because they have a complex. You have a very small percentage of men who would rape anyway because they have a complex. You have a probably even smaller percentage of men who rape over control. You know, the only reason it relates to control is because of the lack of control that they have for themselves, their ability to get women. It's not because they want to control that woman. You know, do what I say. That's why I'm raping you. You know, they would just kidnap them and fucking put a gun to their head and say, clean up my house, wash my car, give me a foot massage. They're not doing that. They're taking the pussy. Why is that? Because that's what they want. They don't want you to tell you what to do. They want the pussy. Stupid bitch. Anyway, so going back to the underlying cause. Women and their attitudes. Women and their appearance. It's a mix of these two things, okay? This is why they feel that women have done them wrong. Because they know we live in a very materialistic society. Most of these people are poor because rich men have women flocking toward them. You know, every once in a while you have the man with the complex, the rich man, God complex, what have you, where they say, you know, I should be able to take what I want because I'm someone important. Yeah, but these are the vast minority. I mean, these are the minority of people who are of rapists who are doing this. The majority of them feel like they've been done wrong by society, and they're going to take what they're missing because they want to live their life. They want to fulfill their sexual desire. So, what causes rapes? You can't say sexual desire causes rapes for the same reason you can't say guns cause murder. What actually causes rapes is the situation, the circumstances that lead up to it. The circumstances are that women do not, you know, there's the majority of women who are willing to, who are desperate and who are actually more open to sleeping with poorer men, you know, because the majority of people in America, right, are in debt and they're poor people, you know. The type of women who are open to this tend to be desperate women, unattractive for whatever reason. I more than explore my reasons in the other videos if you're interested in that. I'm not going to waste my time. So unattractive for whatever reason, and men don't want these women. You know, some of these men are just, you know, again, you're going to have a minority of people who are the exception to the rule, who rape old ladies, who rape whatever women they come across, what have you. Yeah. You know, that happens. And most of the time, even in those cases, it's because of their inability to have access to it. You understand me? They don't have access to women's bodies because of women's attitudes, because we don't have strong religious convictions, because they don't have wives. The majority of rapists aren't married. The majority of rapists don't have girlfriends. You understand me? They are fucking socially isolated. They are shunned by society. Now think about this. Really think things through. Really think it through for a second. No matter what statistics show you, you know, it's common sense, really. It's very basic common sense that feminists don't have. They're gonna argue control all day with these pathetic psychological studies. Trust me, okay? I know fucking rapists, okay? I know motherfuckers who've raped bitches before. Has nothing to do with control. Has everything to do with sexual fucking desire. And it disgusts me that they say that that's not what it's about, because then we're not addressing the problem. I'm more outraged than any feminist who talks about control being the issue, about rape, period. Doesn't come close. Because if they were as mad as me, they would have figured these things out a long time ago like I did. They would have thought about it, and they would have figured out how to solve it, because it isn't that hard to figure out. They didn't, because they don't give a shit about that. They want to bring in a kind of woman-hating, you know, a misogynistic and a misandrist society. They want to divide men and women and get them to hate each other so everyone's a fucking lesbian, like their pathetic, feeble-minded fucking dyke ass. Anyway, so going back to the problem here. So you have a mix of women who don't take care of themselves, so, you know, well, you know, who aren't attractive for whatever reason. A lot of times it's because of something they can do something about, okay? And then you have the women who are materialistic, who tend to be the more attractive women. They say, I'm attractive. You know, people tell them, other bitches tell them, oh, you can do better, whatever. It goes back to the hive mind, the group think, the consensus among these shallow bitches we have in society, known to you and me as females. So, what is the problem here? You know, it's females doing them wrong. Why are they doing them wrong? A lack of religious conviction, materialism, these sorts of things, okay? And thus they've made the rapist a victim before the rapist has made them a victim. They are the aggressor who's been turned around and made a victim when the victim strikes back. And they don't like the way that the victim strikes back. So yes, I would say don't blame the victim, but who's the true victim here? It's both of them. You understand me? I'm not going to blame the victim for what they didn't do, but I'm going to blame the victim for what they did do. And for me not to do that is just stupidity. Well, I'm not supposed to do that because some control freak, feminist, Nazi, fucking Satan worshipping, Wiccan, witchcraft, Lilith whore told me not to? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to solve the problem whether a Nazi, Sikh, hail, feminist bitch likes it or not. Anyway, I'm trying not to yell here, but it's pretty fucking aggravating, as you can imagine. When you're the guy trying to fix the problems and you have a bunch of political whores trying to, with some ulterior motives, trying to fucking fuck everything up, make it worse. You know, makes women in a way that men can't stand even more, which makes it easier to rape them. You know, if a motherfucker dissed you or something, it's a lot easier to beat his ass than if he walks by you and does nothing at all. You understand me? If you have a reason to fuck somebody up or do something to somebody, it is a lot easier and it's a lot more likely to happen than if you don't have any reason at all. So, it's the same thing with rape. If you can go to the club and you almost guarantee that you're going to go home with a bad bitch, are you going to go out and fucking risk going to jail to rape a bitch? You can fucking get a bad bitch to fucking role play, you know, with you, you know? The fuck is the point, you know? So anyway, I'm going to end it there because, you know, well, I have my reasons. You know, I'm just going to wrap this up by saying, in conclusion, I think that we need to study the problems with a little bit of common sense first and foremost, you know. Because as long as you have feminists saying don't blame the victim, when there is more than one victim, and the rapist himself is a victim too, then we will never solve the problem. If we never address the motivations of these people, then we will never stop it from happening. The rape culture is something that feminists have caused themselves, for the most part, because they have made women in a way that make it so that men have more hatred toward them. And even if you believe their argument that it's about control, well, who's taking away the control from men? Even if you believe their argument, which I implore you not to believe, who's taking away the control? They are. So no matter how you look at it, they're exacerbating the problem on purpose because they're controlled by a bunch of Satanists and lesbians who have vested interests in getting women to hate men and men to hate women. The underlying cause is you, women. If you want to do something about it, as badly as I do, then you will address the lack of religious convictions. You will address the hypocrisy among religious people. You will address Satanism. You will address the way that women are a bunch of materialistic whores. You will work on women to be more attractive. The more pure-hearted, attractive women there are, the more humble, honest, you know, women who will look for good men and not rich men, because they're rarely the same thing, almost never the same thing, then the more this problem will go away. If all a man has to be is a good man, and he can get a good-looking woman, you will see rape plummet. The cases of rape plummet. The incidences of rape drop dramatically. Because that is addressing the root cause. Instead of saying, well, let's not even look at women's part, you know, in all this, which is not addressing the root cause. I can't stress that enough. As soon as you say don't look at the whole situation, will you ever truly address the root cause? Let's look at this with blinders on and let's just blame. That's like looking at robbery in the ghetto with blinders on and saying, well, these people are inherently thieves and it's because Hollywood tells them to do so. You know, because Hollywood and video games tell these people, even though robbery has been going on in poor neighborhoods long before Hollywood, long before video games. But no, that is the problem, right? It's the same thing with rape. Rape has been going on long before Hollywood, long before video games, long before pornography came out and Rockefeller and all them invested in the pornography industry. This is something that has to do with women's attractiveness and women's attitudes toward men and a materialistic society. That is the root cause. That's what motivates the rapists. Until you address the root cause, there will always be a high amount of rapes, no matter how you slice it. Thank you.